Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of SBK16 Career Mode, and today we're going to be heading out to Laguna Seca in California, United States for the United States Grand Prix. Yes, do excuse my dreadful American accent there. But yes, hello, and we're back for more Career Mode. As you just heard, we're going to the US Grand Prix at round 9, and this is going to be my hardest circuit on the calendar, I would imagine. Yeah, here's me getting scammed in the last episode. I hope you've already seen that, because I just spoiled the big controversial result there. But anyway, let's move that aside and talk about free practice here at Laguna Seca. And obviously we topped it out, because that's what we've done at every practice session. But in qualifying, that was a different result. We were actually only good enough for third. We were 3/10 off our teammate Jonathan Rea, who managed to put the Kawasaki ZX10R, I forgot words then, onto pole position. But with that aside, we're now just going to dive straight into race 1 of 2 here in the US of A. Here we are on the grid then, and we're just about to go racing. It's sort of like a desert kind of setting is this race circuit. It's absolutely spectacular to ride. But anyway, we're going to go to 3 red lights, and we're underway here in America. Van der Mark and Rea obviously get a fantastic start, and it's sort of a bit like a roller coaster as this track, as there's lots of up and down. And again, this corner is another one which I always struggle to master. However, I do a decent job that time and actually manage to brake later and swoop into the lead. So in the end, it hasn't been such a bad start from me, but it's this sequence of corners here where I can really sort of make up time against the AI. There's sort of 4 or 5 corners in this part of the track, the sort of end of the first heading up to the second sector, where I can make loads of time on the AI. If you look at the minimap, we're just pulling away. And you know, I said earlier it's like a roller coaster, and the title of this video is SBK at the roller coaster, and actually it is when you think about how much uphill and downhill there is. Like, look at this. I mean, this is absolutely spectacular. And anyway, here we are now coming up to the dreaded corner. You need to brake early and not pull a stoppy too much and just try and go deep. But look at Rea there. Look how much of an OP run he gets through it, and I'm just going to lose so much time, but we're going to dive back to his inside there and make the place up again as we're just coming around the final couple of corners now. It's a very short lap. It's actually the shortest lap on the calendar. However, despite the AI being very good around here, I always enjoy racing around this place. It's absolutely fantastic as we come to the end of lap 1 of the roller coaster. Not doing too well at the moment. I have dropped a couple of places, obviously have a guess where, but we're going to send it on Davies into turn 1 and try not to pull too much of a stoppy. But again, even if you brake where it tells you to, you can quite easily overshoot the corner, so you do need to brake a tad before, as there I'm being almost brake blocked by the BMW. I think that was Reiterberger. But anyway, look, I'm just going to be ticking off the AI one by one here. We're back up into 3rd place from 5th. This is the final lap, and oh look, it's the 2 championship rival amigos ahead of me. It's David Giuliano and Jonathan Rea who are ahead of me. But again, you know, I'm just going to send it to the inside here and retake the lead. Now it's all about holding on for the final couple of corners. It looks as if Rea's had some sort of problem. He's gone slipping down the order. I noticed that in the mini-map when I was riding. If I can just keep it together through this corner, then we might actually be on target to win this race. And this one, of all of them in the season, would be very unexpected. But again, I've just run it a little bit too deep, and then I've just been Jazz Davies, I think that was, just ran into the back of me. So we are back down into 3rd place. This is the lowest where we're going to finish. Close to contact there with the man from Huddersfield. And now we're just going to try and see if we can get past Van der Mark. I'll admit I did cut the corner a little bit there, but now we're going to switch to the inside. This is going to be very close, and again I just run it in a bit too shallow, end up running deep on the exit. And now this is going to be a drag race to the line. I'm trying not to have a repeat of Misano, but it doesn't matter, and we are going to win the first race here at Laguna Seca just by 2/100ths of a second over the Dutch rider on the Honda. I'll admit that did come as a surprise, but a very welcome one, and we can now confirm that we have the championship lead, because as you can see, Rea slipped outside the top 10, but let's just head into the second race with that in mind. Jumping straight into it this time, here we go again with the pressure slightly off, seeing as we do have the championship lead. However, Jonathan Rea again gets another fantastic start, and I'm being swarmed now by the Ducatis, and that was Leon Camier as well. Down into turn one, need to try not to pull a big enough stoppie, and then we're going to make some minor contact with Michael van der Mark on the Honda, but again, smuggling ourselves up the inside there, we are going to take the lead. So the AI get an initial better launch, but if you can brake later into turn one, then you're always going to have an advantage over them. And now, as you can see, we're heading to my strongest complex of corners around this circuit. You know, it is very sort of up and down, side to side, like a roller coaster. Insert track here. But nevertheless, I do stand by it being a fun circuit to ride, despite the fact that the AI are good. And, you know, it's quite narrow, so overtaking is not necessarily the easiest here, but I get a fabulous run through there. So heading up toward the dreaded corner, I'm going to hopefully not make too many errors as we come into this tight, twisty complex of track. And there we go, Rea in the end ends up hitting me and practically tries to climb onto my back wheel there. As you saw with the camera shot, he was all over the back of me there. So yeah, that was interesting. But let's just move on and see what else will happen in this race as I go very wide onto the gravel track. Lap 2, something actually interesting happens on lap 2, and it's coming up right here. No, I've pulled a big stoppie into the first corner and we're off. No. I told you it's so easy to do that there. It's actually really difficult because you've got to get it just right, otherwise the bike won't go and it'll tip you off, as that's exactly what happened there. So now we're down into P6, which isn't the end of the world. However, Rea is still in front of me and we can't afford him to pull back any of our championship lead because he is our main direct championship rival. He has been all season and probably will most likely continue to be. But then this is my strongest part of the track, the complex of corners here, where I can get a great exit out of them. We've got past the Ducati and now we're looking up the back of our teammate Jonathan Rea, and we're going to head up towards the most roller coaster like part. I'm going to hop over the curb there just to get a little bit closer, but Rea is slightly better than us in a straight line. But you know, we've seen that many times before this season, and this corner in particular we make a bit of contact. We've got a Ducati and a Honda back through there, and then Giuliano gets back through as well, so it's sort of a couple of steps forward, a couple of steps back for me, but we're going to go down the inside of both of them, and now we're up into P3, and it's a Honda 1-2. I believe it's Hayden who's actually running away with his home race, and we've got Van der Mark in second place. This is close. Hayden has actually just won his home race. He's miles ahead, but this is sort of the battle for the podium, really. I've got Davies and then Van der Mark, but I've gone too wide, and that could be the end of that. I'm going to try and hold it round the outside. This is going to be brave, but it's going to pull it off. Wow, I did not expect that to work, and we are going to finish P3, and with 2 podiums here at Laguna Seca, I am a very happy bunny, and I will take that, because I was not expecting us to get 1 podium here at all, because this is a tough circuit for the player. But what does that race mean for the championship? Well, we lead by 12 points with 4 rounds to go, so it's looking promising. Giuliano and especially Van der Mark are sort of slipping into the clutches of Davies, Hayden and Camier. It's very tight between those 4, and anybody outside that top 7 is way too far back. So it's the usual top 7 suspects at the top, but we exit Laguna Seca, surprisingly, with the championship lead. Anyway, guys, that's going to conclude this episode at the American Grand Prix. Please be sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.